good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I'm Mrs. Best, and we are here to go over the Never Ever Mets, which is a newer concept of a dating show on the OWN network. This episode was episode 4 of season 2. It was titled Lion for Sport. There's a lot to unpack. We are a little bit late with this recap. We've just been busy with work, school. James got a wedding he's planning, and anybody who's been married knows that it's not just a wedding you're planning. You got to figure out where you want to get married, who you want to invite, where you gonna live once you're married. Start packing things up. It's a lot. James also had a birthday, so he is not going to be on the recaps today. However, James will be live on his channel. I will be joining him for some of those lives to go over Housewives of Atlanta, as well as, why is this slipping my mind? Love and Marriage Detroit and Somebody's Son. So be on the lookout for that. And the link is in the description of this video for James's channel as well. Welcome in, Shani. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Girl, I barely made it. When I say this is the week that has been weeking, I am tired. It's only Wednesday, but I'm just tired. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and let's get into this episode. We have to start with Jared. So Jared's dating Charlie. They both came on the show lying to each other about having kids, which was odd to me. But now Jared's kind of showing that he's a fuck boy. He just is. We can say for sure that he's a fuck boy. He's awful. Now James thinks he wants to be with Mitt. I don't know. I just don't like him. At this point, I don't like him. I think it's childish of him to stay with Charlie, even though Charlie ain't shit either. But it's childish of Jared to even want to stay with Charlie if you know for a fact, sir, that you're not trying to be in a house with 6 kids. Why stay with her if that's the case? But then I also kind of feel him, because it's like, damn, I thought I knew you had 1 kid and he got a kid, but he did not know that she really had, I think it was 3 of the kids she didn't tell him about. So that's crazy to me. How can you call yourself in a relationship with somebody and you don't know if they pregnant or got kids? Like, when are these people talking to each other on the phone? It doesn't make sense. But moving on, y'all, I will digress and shut up. Tatiana is complaining about Clay basically bullshitting. Now, the way he's been BSing is Tatiana's a vegan. Clay is not a vegan, but he keeps saying that he'll go vegan for her. Now, Tatiana has made it very clear she does not care if this man eats meat or not, because she has dated other people who don't eat meat. I respect those kinds of vegans. Please stop trying to push your agenda onto me. And that's with anything. Mind you, I grew up vegan, but I respect Tatiana for being that way, because you can eat what you want. She's not going to run you. She's not going to control you. None of that. So she's being fair. And this Clavasia guy is just a hot mess. He gets on every piece of a nerve that I have. Now, allegedly, but we know it's not alleged because we saw on camera, Clay tore up a sandwich that, what is that girl's name? I can never remember those people's name. Isn't that something? Let me see. Let me move what are their names? Jay. The young lady Jay who's dating Cinco. She made a sandwich and she was talking about she put the bread and butter grease and all sorts of craziness. I said, oh, wow, I don't blame him for eating it, but the sandwich had chicken and bacon. Now, this bothered Tatiana because she's like, why is he lying to me? I don't understand it either. It really does irritate me. But Clay is also hiding a baby still that he got to tell her about. So I'm just kind of like, this is the worst batch of singles, but I do understand Tati. Welcome in, Quay. Happy hump day. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope everybody's having a good week thus far. We hope that you are. James will be back, you guys, tomorrow on his channel. He's been doing overtime at work. He's getting married. We just have a lot going on, so we're a little behind in recaps, but we're going to get it done one way or the other. Moving it along, Jared and Charlie going to be going to the intimacy suite. I ain't got shit to say about it. Because you could tell that this man's like sole purpose right now is just to get this woman in bed. And I think once he hit it, I think he will absolutely quit it. I do. I don't think he's interested in her. And I can't, like, he ain't shit either, but to be hiding multiple kids and stuff, that's weird. Where are their dads? There's so much I want to know that I feel like they're not diving into. I almost wish OWN, maybe for season 3 of the Never Ever Mets, y'all need to lessen the number of couples so that you can do a deeper dive into like what's really going on in their lives, baby mamas, baby daddies, day to day, what they do for a living. Like, we don't know much. And like, I get that it's TV, but I feel like knowing more would make it tolerable or help us understand and have better opinions. That's just me. But yeah, Jared's a sleaze. Moving it along, Brandon and Kiki end up talking, and I'm over Kiki. I'm very annoyed with her. She feels like Brandon has been treating her like an alcoholic. And she says that he is a different person in person than he was when they were communicating over the phone. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you, stupid bitch? Of course he's going to be different in person over the phone. You don't get all of people over the phone. That's why people were struggling during COVID, being locked in the house and stuff. The phone isn't enough. So I'm listening to Kiki and I'm like, you're being unrealistic. You have to expect there to be some type of a difference. The second thing, nobody can treat me like an alcoholic. And I'm sure nobody could treat any of y'all listening to me now like alcoholics. If you get called or alleged to be an alcoholic, 9 times out of 10, you probably drink too much or are real close to the bottle. People don't just hear things like that on like a normal day to day. Like, that doesn't happen. So it's like Kiki saying, oh, he's treating me like an alcoholic, while entirely ignoring her own behavior and the fact that maybe he feels that way because of something you're doing. She's just mad. And I'm like, girl, I'm if she put the energy into losing weight as she did, into denying having some sort of alcohol, closeness, she could go so far. There's a lot that I think Kiki is doing. I think her weight is due to depression. I feel like the alcohol is probably due to depression. You could tell there's a lot of pain, but then she also gives me shady. Like, something about her is shady, but we will get to that in a little bit. Feel free, you guys, also to comment your opinions and all those good things. Everyone is welcome. Now, crazy, I'm going to call her crazy, Alicia. She's been going crazy episode after episode. She just gets mad for no reason. She's very manipulative. It seems like she enjoys gaslighting people. And she uses her own autoimmune disorder as a way to mess with other people. And I can't stand that. I cannot get into that. Alicia irritates my absolute soul. She makes my teeth itch. I don't like this woman. I want to snatch her wig off and hit her with it. She irks my soul. She really does. She really does. Now, she gets mad because Brandon comes in the house after talking to Kiki, and he's frustrated. And so he's been talking to other people. He's not even talking to Alicia. And Alicia follows him inside because, mind y'all, her black ass was outside in the sun. Talk about she was trying to get some sun. It's a beautiful day. So she followed him inside after hearing him and Kiki's conversation to see him complaining about it some more. And then she says it's draining, the fact that he's complaining. And I was so happy for it, even though I felt like, Brandon, you were a little too aggressive with this female. But just because a woman is a woman doesn't mean a man can't thoroughly address her. If you're going to come up to a man, you got to expect for him to respond in some way, though he was a little bit aggressive, in my opinion. But Brandon calls out Alicia and Irvin's relationship. He points out that Alicia is problematic. And then he also reminds her, I wasn't even talking to you. And I was so glad he didn't like do more, call her out her name or anything too extra, because if he would have, that would have been the Hot Mess Express. So Brandon ends up going to Irvin afterwards because Alicia ends up walking away. These people know how to handle her, and I don't think she's used to that. I think she's used to getting away with her shenanigans. But Brandon goes to Irvin and he says that, Alicia was acting a fool. And Irvin said he's going to talk to her. And he made it very clear to Brandon, like, let me address her. But at the same time, like, y'all remember that couple last season where they didn't make it and somebody left early or something? Not the ones who was fighting, but the crazy chick from New York with the faux locks last season. I think Alicia and Irvin are going to do like them. I don't think they're going to end up together because he seemed tired of her behavior. He seems so sick of her. And he goes to her and he tries to talk to Alicia about how she was acting, following him out there, complaining because a couple's having an issue. It's like, bitch, you're in a house full of couples. They're going to argue. They're going to complain. What, would you rather him out there screaming in the girl face? Or would you rather him vent to somebody he cool with who's in a similar situation? Like, I cannot with her. I cannot. But Irvin talks to Alicia in a respectful manner, in my opinion. And she ends up saying that she feels reprimanded as if she's being talked to like she's a child, which she probably feels that way against anybody that tells her about herself. Like, you could tell, like, if you have anything to say to her that's not positive, she's going to feel reprimanded or attacked, or she's one of those. She's like a black Karen. That's what she gives. But, you know, basically Irvin tells her she needs to mind her business, which was the right thing. And this bitch started speaking in tongues, talking about she has to pray to protect her body. I said, you evil bitch in a wig. You ain't nothing. She ain't shit. I can't stand her. I cannot stand Alicia, because why are you speaking in tongues? Talking about that's how you pray. And I do believe in the word of tongues. However, I don't believe it come on just like that in a conversation. Y'all wouldn't talk about nothing biblical or nothing. Like, that was disgusting. To be manipulative is bad, but to use religion is even worse. Let me get this comment. Quay said, we are all sick of her. Irvin is annoyed. She keep putting him in position. I wouldn't blame the brother if he left. This the one time I would say, leave. Run far, far away. Because why is she what? And then I don't even believe that she has a skin disorder or autoimmune disease, whatever the fuck is supposed to be wrong with her. I don't believe that is actually wrong with her. She just seems like a bougie, uppity bitch that looks down on everybody else. Honestly, it gives that. And she is not able to take any feedback. She's not able to correct herself. She's not able to do no introspection. If anything, we should all be playing in tongues for Irvin. Amen. Amen. And he walked off when she started speaking in tongues. And I don't blame him. When she did that, it reminded me of Phaedra on Married to Medicine on that beach while everybody was fighting, holding sweet tea, speaking in tongues. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I can't. I think we sick of her. I'm going to move on, y'all. I'm going to move on. I really hope he dumps her. Like, I don't want her to get to satisfaction of dumping him. I want him to dump the shit out of her. I'm gonna move on. She irks me, y'all. She irks me. Now, we then see Kiki and Brandon meet with Dr. Allie, who was on season 1. And I think Dr. Allie did a good job. You can tell that even though she's on TV, she's trying to take something seriously. But, you know, Brandon tells the therapist about his past traumas and his childhood growing up, his parents, that I guess his parents were close to the bottle. And he explains that he's seen multiple relationships in as a result of alcohol and alcohol abuse. And this is where they get into it, not, you know, talking to the therapist. And the therapist asks both of them, how many drinks do you guys feel is the limit? Meaning, how many drinks do you think you should have while out? What should be your limit? Where should you stop? And Brandon says 3, then 4 drinks. And, you know, then Kiki responds, she said 3 or 4 drinks plus and 3 shots of straight liquor. I said, oh, and you talk about, and you wonder why people allege to choose an alcoholic. You wonder why people allege that you are alcoholic. And she probably thinking in her head, maybe I'm bigger, so my tolerance is higher. That's not always true. The alcohol is probably contributing to her weight. It probably is. So I'm just like, oh, girl, you got a problem. As soon as she said that, the psych major in me, I said, oh, she's a binge drinker, right? And the therapist points out that if you are a woman and you drink more than 4 drinks in a night, that is considered a binge drinking. And Kiki is doing this often, from what it sounds like. So, as soon as the therapist points out you do have some form of a drinking problem, why did this bitch look to Brandon and glare? It was almost like she was mad that him bringing up the issue forced her to have to hear something that I really do think Kiki already knew. She had a negative relationship with alcohol. I really think she knows that. And she brings it out immediately. She lost her mother recently. I empathize for anybody who's lost a parent. Losing anyone in general is difficult, but parents, that has to be really tough. And we hear this so often, especially when people lose their mothers. Like, it changes people a lot, for the better, sometimes for the worse, but it changes people. And that part is okay. And that's when I was like, okay, it makes sense. And that's why I think that Kiki does know that she's got a problem with alcohol. But I think she also knows, as she explained to the therapist, that it makes her feel better. She don't have to think about the crazy, ness that she's been through as it relates to her grief. She can have a moment of, peace, solace, of feeling good, even if it's, temporary, and it's sad, but a lot of people go through that. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So now you're confirming further that Brandon was correct. You do have a drinking problem, because not only are you binge drinking, but you're stating that you're binge drinking because you're in pain. So, the therapist ends up dismissing Brandon and reminds him, like, he was too aggressive and he let his trauma impact how he communicated with her. But the therapist dismisses him. And look, Brandon was not wrong, and I'm glad he said something. And Kiki stays behind and talk with the therapist. And this is where it comes out that, she says she feels alone and she feels like her and Brandon are not meshing. And I'm like, girlfriend, it's because you always drunk. But, she speaks about an ex. She says that she had this ex who she was with for 8 years. This person was her first love. And it seems like she never healed from the ex. Now, she's been with Brandon for 4 years. 4.5 years, it said they was dating on the TV. And she was with her ex for 8 years. She broke up with her ex 4 months ago. So, Kiki, you sitting up here giving this man hell when you a cheat and a drunk? I'm going to need Kiki to figure it out and drink some water as she does so. Eat some bread. Do something, Kiki. How dare you even try to pick a fight with this man, knowing that you was cheating on him the entirety of your relationship? Now, I understand she explained her fiance that she was with for all those years was cheating on her, but that is just not okay. It's just crazy to me how Kiki moves. So, the therapist pays attention to that, but I'm like, she's shady, she's fake, she lies, and she does it comfortably. And to tell a lie and then make the person who's calling you out think that you don't have an alcohol problem or think that you are this faithful person is concerning. Like, Kiki, go somewhere. Please don't bring her back on our screen. I'm pretty done with her. I'm pretty done with her. I wish her the best in healing from her trauma, but your trauma never gives you the right to cause others trauma or to hurt others in any way. And that's what she's doing. And I'm not saying Brandon is perfect either, but what she's done is 10 times worse than anything that he thus far could do, unless he got a baby or something. Oh, can't stand Kiki. Now, the group is then on the way. They're going to have drinks. It looks like they were doing that Top Golf where you do the golfing, the drinks, and then it's like bowling alley food to me. But, everybody's having a good time. I do want to point out that Cinco and Jay, they've been cruising. And listen, James was worried when she got in that shower and they got busy. But he said last week, and I agree, maybe that was the right thing to do. Sometimes you got to get the shit out the way to know if it's going to work. It's just best. I mean, they've been laying low, getting along. Now, it's still early in the season, but I'm like, okay, Cinco and Jay, live your peaceful life. Now, Alicia is dancing, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, okay, Alicia and Irvin was doing a little bit better at this event. She let him help her hit the ball, and, all the crazy little things you do on a date. But she ends up accusing Irvin when they're sitting down of saying something to her when she was dancing while sitting down in a chair. And even the person sitting next to her, I believe it was Jay, and somebody else was like, he didn't say anything. Like, he was sitting there in silence because he's so fucking miserable. He can't stand that this is the person he ended out with. He probably said, I can't believe this bitch get on my nerves like this. He probably mad. He got to be on TV with somebody he don't even deal with. He was sitting there quiet. And she's accusing him of saying something. Someone backs him up. And Alicia is still insisting on him saying and talking shit. And I'm like, girl, his mouth is full of food. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So they move past that for a moment. And then we move to Brittany and Ty, because Brittany's mad that Ty has not been giving her no attention. And she believes that his lack of ability to give her attention, but wanting to please other people, such as friends and stuff, is why they haven't met in person. She feels like he prioritizes others over her. Girl, leave the show. If you feel like he prioritizes people that he just met and does not know over you, then you got your answer right there. Don't be chasing no man. Don't. Absolutely not. And I have noticed that with Ty, everything, like, I don't mind him being funny and stuff, but like everything is a joke. And you pay more attention to them than to me. But I also feel like Brittany could apply more pressure. Like, I'm not the most physically affectionate female myself, but, at least try and give him some affection or something. See if you could get, the attention. But then at the same time, I'm like, I have noticed he's not doing much. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Let me get the comment from Quay. She said, yes, she looked at him and said, I can't dance. And he didn't say anything. That was weird. And now weird is the new issue for the night for her. She was so offended that he called her weird. I was like, I was watching Love After Lockup, y'all. I used to recap it, but I'm not no more because I love that show and I don't be wanting to take notes. And one of them guys, he was in an argument with this girl. He said, shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. I said, all he said was, I didn't say anything that was weird. And this girl took the word weird and just attacked it. Like, she's highly manipulative. She's highly manipulative. I can't stand her. And she thinks she just hot honey, hot coochie. She thinks she's everything good and hot. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, your wig not even glued down right, girl. And you acting like this. It's not okay, Alicia. It's not okay. Oh, she irks my soul. Now, this was the double date from hell because it seemed like all the couples, with the exception of Cinco and Jay, was having some type of problem. Charlie and Jared are okay, but we know they're only okay because he's trying to hit and they had the intimacy suite, so they don't even count. And Tatiana decides that she's going to confront Clevasia about him lying to her about eating meat. He feels disrespected because she ends up walking away in their exchange. But she walked away because he continued to lie. And then he was laughing about it. And I don't think people who lie realize that. Like, if you lie about something so small and then you giggle about it and don't take my anger seriously, then I know for sure you're going to lie about something big and do the same dumb shit. And why put yourself through that if you don't have to? And he already got the lie that he's hiding a baby at home, a 2-month-old or something little, a little child. So I said, oh, you was cheating on her. You was fucking on somebody. Because they've been talking for 8 months. So that means somebody was pregnant the whole time he was talking to her and he just never mentioned it. And I don't understand why Clay would push any of her buttons or even try to argue back with her or be difficult, knowing he still has to tell her about his daughter. Like, that's whack. That's super whack. Clay said Clay just be volunteering lies for no damn reason at all. Like, he's a habitual liar, and that's concerning. That's concerning. Like, if she stays with him, she's a fool. She's an absolute fool if she stays with him. This is just like reality TV, y'all, has taught me, if anything, I've been with my spouse for almost 20 years, but God forbid anything happen, I will never date in Atlanta. That's what reality TV from every network to every show has taught me. Because what the hell is going on in Atlanta that men act like this? I know men ain't shit everywhere, but my God, Atlanta seems to be having a pandemic of shitty men. I don't understand it. Now, everybody left the little date, all the couples that had their issues, and away, even when they get to the house, Alicia is complaining about Irvin, saying that it's weird, that him calling her weird is very toxic. She says it makes the relationship toxic. When the fuck did the word weird become toxic? I'm so confused. I'm genuinely confused. I said, oh, this girl is too much. She's just too much. Now, Alicia is talking about it also makes her feel like there's chaos. And I'm like, do you not realize, Alicia, that you are the chaos? Do you not see that? So the next thing this bitch do is in the car ride home, Irvin falls asleep. That's what men do in the car sometimes. I be on the 5 driving to LA with my husband from time to time. He go right to sleep. I don't know what it is. He went to sleep. What's the problem, Alicia? She mad that he went to sleep on the car. I'm like, girl, get over it. Get over it. And she's telling this to Alexis and Tatiana, and their silence should have told her that, you know, they can't even give a, girl. Yeah, girl, I feel you. Because I'd have been there. Because who the fuck gets mad at someone for falling asleep in the car? Quay said he went to sleep to escape her. Can you blame the man? I can't even blame him. At this point, whatever Irvin has to do to avoid dealing with her, he should absolutely do. Alexis and Tati said, oh, this bitch is crazy. You could see in their face. They like, we ain't got shit to say because we could say the right thing, we could say the wrong thing, but we ain't trying to deal with her. Now, everybody goes to sleep, and the next morning, Clay gets up and finally apologizes away from the group. I never trust a man that will embarrass me in public but won't apologize to me in public. Fuck that. That's shady. But he apologizes, but he does not tell her about the baby. And in my world, I don't even care about nothing that happened in the conversation because you still ain't told her about that baby. You're wasting her time. The baby is 2 months. So you was either cheating, or even if you weren't cheating, you and that baby mama ain't done. That child is 2 months old. Stop playing. But I wonder, do y'all think that she'll stay with Clay when she finds out about the baby? I don't think that she will. But I'm kind of becoming unsure about it at in the middle, because if you forgive somebody for telling you all those kinds of lies that you're supposed to be in a relationship with, like if it was just a friend, it'd be different, but you're supposed to be dating this person. Like, that's a concern. So I don't know. They're weird. Now, moving it along, beautiful people. Brittany is still annoyed at Ty for his constant jokes. He's always making sexual innuendos, things like that. And she still feel like he ain't paying her too much attention. And it seems like he wants to be a comedian. I think he's here for the cameras and not for her, personally. Let me see. Quay said, and relates to Tati and Kvasia, she's definitely going to leave. He's been lying way too much. Yep. If she doesn't leave, I think she knows that women everywhere, we would have to put our head down. That would be sad. But I think she's going to go. I think she's just trying to get through the experience, because I would leave him. You lying about stupid shit, especially when someone vegan says, eat what you want. Enjoy that. Big dummy. Make no sense. Now, Ty decides to tell the men how, Britt's gotten mad that, she felt like Ty, when he's bringing out the barbecue, I guess he's grilling and stuff like that, she asked him to bring her a beverage. He did not bring her a beverage. He said, let me get the food for everybody else out there first. And she gets mad about that, and he decides to tell the guys about that, but she was able to hear it, and they end up arguing in front of everybody. Now, Brittany done told Ty how he hasn't paid her no mind. He ain't giving her no attention. Everything that he said he would do, he has not done. And she's fed up. And he gets mad. They are literally yelling at each other from across the pool. They didn't even come together to talk. Y'all realistically could have walked across the pool and talked to each other. Y'all could have both put your feet in the water and talked to each other. They're in two different areas from across the pool, arguing in front of everybody. And he's just, in my opinion, the worst kind of man, because he was like, I got to worry about everybody else. I'm cooking for everybody, not just you. If my husband is barbecuing for a whole bunch of people in the house and I say, babe, will you get me something to drink? He's going to pause his fucking barbecuing and get me something to drink. If I am cooking for a big group of people and my husband's like, can you bring me something to drink? I will pause what I'm doing and put the skillet on low and bring him something to drink. These are the things that make it different and special to be in a relationship. So I did understand where Brittany was coming from. However, I feel like she has a wall up and maybe he doesn't feel the most comfortable. But I also kind of feel like he wants to be a comedian or something because he's way too funny. But he also gives the older guy that just wants to show everybody how his barbecue skills are. I don't know which one it is. That's why I wish James was here. But he at work, y'all. He might be watching. Hey, James, if you are. But I didn't like the way that they argued. I think the way that people argue will tell you a lot about them. Brittany's acted a certain way and calm, but she's the calm person that will blow up and go crazy. She don't care where she at. You could tell they're going to be the old couple arguing. She going to be in his face in Walmart arguing while picking out some meat. Like, I don't like what both of them did, but at the same time, I do get where she's coming from. Pay your woman some attention, sir. So that's pretty much how I felt. Let's see what Quay said. That part, he was too busy looking for a bromance, and I don't like how he talks to women. He got real slick at the mouth talking to her. He got real slick at the mouth. That's why I'm like, do you want her or not? You got a woman in a pool, beautiful woman in a pool, asking for your attention. She didn't get it. She still behaved. So she asked you for a beverage. Are you going to tell her you got to handle everybody else? That's not okay. It's not okay. He doesn't see it, Quay. He doesn't see it, which irritates me. But if he want to have his bros, let him have the bros. Let it be. That's all I'm saying. But y'all, that's all that happened on this episode of the Never Ever Mets. We will be recapping the episode that comes on this Friday over the weekend. James will join me for that. He does have a wedding. He also just had his birthday last week. He's got a lot going on, and he's got overtime that he's working at work. So that's why he's not here, but he will be here tomorrow to do Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Marriage Detroit, Somebody's Son, and he may do Bravo's Love Hotel, but I'm not sure. And we'll be on my channel tomorrow as well. I'll be doing The Valley, both episodes, as well as both Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami. And James, they missed you. He always watches the lives when he's not here. I have no clue how he does it at work, but he gets it done. That's a supportive friend, and I love that for him. But we will see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and supporting us, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening.